Welcome to the Top Corner Football Podcast. We talk about all things football goals, gossips, transfers, local and international football. This is a weekly show, and you'll be seeing us interview special guests, analysts, football experts, or ex players. My name is Sharyar.
My name is Mikhail.
Let's get right into it.
So, what should we start with?
Man, the Saudi League. Yeah, that has dominated the transfer window.
I can't believe it. Honestly, like Ronaldo went and that was the start of it.
That was the start of it.
Yeah. And then I feel like it's his influence being the most followed person on Instagram, everything, all of that influence is what's caused so many people to actually want to do it. You're seeing people in their prime, Mane, Mahrez, all of these big names in football.
Ruben Neves,
all of these big names in football.
Frank Kessie
Can't
from
believe
Barca.
it. Can't believe it. Honestly.
So many big names. Karim Benzema, yaar.
Karim Benzema, Ballon d'Or
right?
winner, has gone to Saudi now. So now I think they're going to be able to compete now with the best European teams in the world, I feel. Soon.
They can. Yeah. And there's this comparison between the Saudi League, what they're doing, and the MLS.
Yeah.
Why the comparison?
So I feel that MLS always became like I don't want to call it a graveyard, but like everyone at the end of their careers would like to finish it there. Yeah. Which is what Messi's done. Yeah. Messi's followed that stance.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Saudi, you're seeing people go in their prime. So I feel like that's why they're at another level to the MLS.
Yeah.
That's why,
I think the Saudis are really serious about it.
Yeah.
They are really serious about it, not just from a footballing perspective, but from a global image perspective as well. How Saudi Arab wants to project itself in the world, you know, and not just football. Yeah. So when you think about football, Saudi Arab, you think about Ronaldo, you think about Karim Benzema, the Ballon d'Or winner, and you know what? They might even be thinking about the 2030 World Cup bid.
Yes.
I mean, and you know what? All this is has been triggered by that one win against Argentina.
Yeah,
Messi's Argentina.
That was the start of it. That was the start of it.
So I think that match catapulted Saudi Arab and the football crazy nation that they are to where they are right now.
And also the government. The government is funding them till 2030. I think it's 17 billion pounds that is being provided to all the teams.
Yeah, the PIF.
Yes.
Yeah, the public
so
investment
you're
fund.
Seeing the government also take and it started with the World Cup being in Qatar as well. Yeah. I feel like that also took a toll on Saudi being like, okay, now, we need to.
Yeah, I mean, we saw how the Qatari culture, the Arab culture was highlighted in the West, A lot of foreigners actually...
and so many people at first, I don't know if you saw the podcast with Guy Neville, Jamie Carragher, all of them were so against it, talking anti.
And then they went to Saudi Arab.
And it ended up being the best World Cup.
Dude, you see Rio Ferdinand defending the Qatari World Cup, at major European publications.
And it ended up being the best World Cup that we've ever seen.
It was. What a final. What a final. Messi and Mbappe.
The best possible thing that could have happened. I think there's not been a better final, I feel, in World Cup history than that final.
Then again, there are these comparisons of the Saudi project with the in the past we've seen the Chinese league going crazy about it.
Yeah. But that died down. That died down. With Saudi, I feel like it won't die down because if a name like Ronaldo goes, that's just the start of. Now they know that they have a foothold in football culture in the world now. Yeah. So
they're not even just they're not just signing good players, but they're creating this amazing structure of football.
Exactly.
Right? This amazing structure of football.
Amazing grounds,
technical directors, coaches.
The best coaches in the world are now going to Saudi.
I mean, Steven Gerrard. He's not the best coach in the world, but
a big name in football.
But he's a big name in football, right?
One of the
Steven
best
Gerrard.
legends in Liverpool's history. If
not
the best. Exactly.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And
for the recent modern Liverpool
and you're seeing a Champions League winner, Jordan Henderson, go to play under
Liverpool captain. Huh? Liverpool captain.
Yeah, been there for 10-12 years and going to Saudi because he likes the project. Ronaldo, everyone was criticizing him at first about going to Saudi when no one else was there, but now you're seeing that he saw a future there when he spoke to the Saudi people there, the government, whatever, and he spoke to the team there. He just saw a future there.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing the fruits.
Yeah, basically. Absolutely. I mean, you see people like Sadio Mane going from Bayern
world-class player. Yeah.
And Mane will be playing now with Ronaldo. Who would have thought that?
In the same team. Now FIFA people are going to be taking Saudi teams in FIFA, which was like unheard of till last year.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
like FIFA में जो creation center होता था that feature, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Saudis are actually doing.
Yeah.
They've signed on.
And honestly, now I feel like there's going to be more Asian versus European competitions like unheard of.
Absolutely. I would want to watch
Yes.
Saudi League now. I'm interested.
And I think they're going to look at that as well, and they're going to be like, okay, maybe we can have a competition with Asian teams, and because right now the Champions League is the biggest competition every year, right? And that's only European teams.
And
so maybe incorporating something like that with Asian teams, that's something that they could look at.
FIFA and the UEFA guys will be thinking about it.
Of course.
We've got these amazing players which people actually want to watch in Saudi Arab. How do we create a competition with the European sides? You know,
exactly.
So it drives revenue, right?
It does, exactly. And names like Ronaldo, you know people are going to watch it.
Absolutely.
Names like Ronaldo, Mane, world-class players.
Yeah.
World-class players.
Champions League winners, Premier League winners, you know. So, but anyway, so we've got like a lot to catch up.
A lot to catch up. So now the Premier League season is starting soon. The Community Shield, Arsenal got lucky to get into it because City won the FA Cup and the Premier League. Usually the Community Shield is the winner of the FA Cup and the Premier League face each other. But because City won both, Arsenal came second in the Premier League. So Arsenal are facing them next week.
Yeah, but
so looking forward to that.
Arsenal, man. Yeah. Arsenal is the team to watch this season. Yeah. They look so good under Arteta. The Arteta project that everybody was like not believing in at first.
As an Arsenal fan, I am looking forward to the season, but I feel like now that last season was an overachievement coming second. No one expected us to come second.
Absolutely.
Right? Now it's come to a point where there's an added pressure. First of all, there's a Champions League. Last year...
After what, 7 years? 6 years?
6 years. 2017.
6 years.
And also, the way I look at it now is that Arsenal haven't been in the Champions League for 6 years. Last season, Arteta got a lot of criticism. Why? Because he focused solely on the Premier League because everyone was like, okay, if he wins the Premier League,
Which
it's okay.
I think was right. Nothing was wrong with that. He had to prioritize the Premier League.
But at the same time, if you're prioritizing the Premier League and you're looking over and not giving the respect to the Carabao Cup, to the FA Cup, to the Europa League, not playing your full teams in that, then you're expected to win the Premier League.
But then again, Arsenal didn't have
the squad
of Man City, right? They're a thin squad. Now you're seeing Arteta beefing up the squad for Champions League.
Yes.
He signed what? Havertz, Declan Rice.
Timber.
Declan Rice, Justin Timber,
And now second goalkeeper is also world-class goalkeeper David Raya from Brentford. So we're looking good.
Competition for Ramsdale.
Yes.
Partey and
Rice.
Rice as well, absolutely.
So looking forward to next season because last season where we struggled was Saliba getting injured and then Holding coming in for him.
And I think that kind of ended Arsenal's great run right at the tail end of the season.
The Liverpool game was the game that was the beginning of the end for us. And that had to do with Saliba not being there.
Speaking of Liverpool, being a Liverpool fan, I'm happy. We've signed Szoboszlai. We've signed McAllister, right, from the World
Cup.
Great
player, great signing.
He is. But then again, we've let go of like 6 midfielders, man.
And also very experienced midfielders. So I understand bringing in a young squad, getting rid of the deadwood, but at the same time you have to keep the experience there for them to maybe if they left next year after teaching the ropes, everything, because it's difficult to fit into the club system as well.
It's fine. We were expecting Fabinho to go this season, right? It's fine because he's lost the legs, right? He's been a great 7 for Liverpool. Blicken, I feel his legs were gone. But losing Fabinho and Henderson in the same window after losing Ox, Naby Keita, in the same window as well. They were very injury prone, right? Yeah. But then again, like losing that experience.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
That's not good.
Because you probably will have brought in better players. McAllister and Szoboszlai are better players than Henderson and Fabinho now. But the experience. Playing at the top level.
And now we're hearing Romeo Lavia from Southampton. Southampton
great prospect.
He is a great prospect. He is a great prospect. But he's what, 19 years old?
And coming from a relegation battle team to a team that's expected to challenge for the title next year. This was a season where Liverpool underachieved and finished 5th.
Speaking of challenging for the title, I feel United, do you think they have a chance? They just signed
Holland?
Holland. Rasmus Højlund, right?
So
72 million
9
pounds.
Serie A goals like last year.
Just for 9 goals.
So that's United tax.
I think they just pay.
They started under Solskjaer, but then it ends. Since Ferguson, they haven't had a consistent run. They haven't gone for the title even once. They finished second one season, 25 points behind City. So it wasn't really even a contention.
I think Ten Hag is doing a good job.
He is. He had a great first season. I think FA Cup final, Carabao Cup final. He's done a great job. This is their season to start proving themselves because he's gotten that season. Now the pressure's on. The same with Arteta. Because he's had 3-4 years now. It's time now that the pressure's on. If he does not start the season well, there will be pressure on him. Last season was from the start to the end, we were on top.
Yeah.
We were on top of the table for 226 days.
Yeah, man, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
Given City was in the league.
Exactly. And overachievement for us. But at the same time, when you look at next season, we will be expected to start like that. You know? Because last season we had we had dropped, I think, only points in 2 games. We had a draw to Southampton and a loss to United in the first half of the season, which is, we were close to perfect. And then we dropped off. But then even after dropping off, people were just like, oh, like they overachieved. Next season, you're going to be expected
expectations, right? Speaking of expectations, where do you think Harry Kane, the English captain, the Tottenham captain, will end up? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's time Daniel Levy should let him go.
Because he has 1 year left on his contract.
1 year left.
And 100 million is great.
Yeah.
For a team like Tottenham, who are just...
Bayern, no. Okay, Levy won't sell Kane to anyone in the Premier League, right?
Yes.
They know that. Nobody can cough up 80 million for Harry Kane. Nobody really needs a striker in the Premier League teams, right?
Yeah.
So they know that. And they know Levy won't sell to anyone in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So they are, I don't know, if Daniel Levy wants to sell to Bayern, should he sell?
So the thing is that I feel like he should sell, but Harry Kane himself wants to break Alan Shearer's record. That's his only reason solely for staying in the Premier League. He wants to break that record. I think he's 55 goals away. So if he that's the only reason I feel he wants to stay. He wants to submit, have his legacy on the Premier League.
I think he's
not
happy
winning
to
a
stay.
trophy.
And he's happy to leave Tottenham as well.
Yes, I'm sure.
Right?
He wanted to go to City last year.
Yeah.
But then...
Yeah, we saw that interview with Gary Neville.
And,
that was pretty...
And Tottenham were refusing to sell.
Yeah.
And he still went up and got 26 goals.
They were in a great
team
position.
like that.
Tottenham were in a great position last season.
160 million, 140 million.
To sell him or not to sell him. The ball was in their court.
Yeah.
Now I feel they should just let him go.
Yeah.
Or lose him for free next season.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, right? Let's talk about some local football.
Yeah.
Domestic
Of
football.
course, yeah.
Pakistan football.
Yeah.
The Pakistani street child team has basically qualified for the Norway Cup 2023 after 5 consecutive wins. So that's
a great achievement.
It's a great achievement.
And personally, I'm seeing a lot of exposure now finally with local football. Before it was unheard of for
foreign exposure, right?
Exactly.
Foreign leagues.
I know someone, Afan Siddiqui, who went through KU's pro team and he had a trial abroad in the UK, which is amazing, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
You're seeing people like Shahzeb Khan, people like Adil Rizki promoting football to another level in Pakistan, which was unheard of before this, where the women's team are getting exposure, they're getting to go abroad, play tournaments, all of these things. It's amazing for the sport. It's amazing for the country.
Last year, I don't know if you know, but Michael Owen came to Pakistan.
Yes.
I met him.
Oh,
I was
amazing.
involved with the company. You know,
okay, that's
that
amazing.
Basically
brought them in.
Yeah. For Pakistan, to improve Pakistan football, to improve its infrastructure, right? Yeah. And for our local players, our kids, to gain exposure in the foreign leagues, in the Irish leagues, in the Scottish leagues, in the English leagues, right? And I think that's a great move. I think this should continue. People like Michael Owen, right? Liverpool legend, England World Cup winner.
Yeah. And you're seeing it slowly, gradually improve. Like Ronaldinho came a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Perez came a couple of years ago. So
Luis
Figo came. Puyol came. So you're seeing all of these people take initiative finally. And especially if you look at football in Pakistan and Karachi, especially, I'd say the players in Lyari, such talented players. They're born. It's like Brazil.
Man, they're like Brazilian. Yeah, it's like a little Brazil in Karachi. Lyari is a little Brazil in Karachi.
I don't know if you saw that documentary where that person went and watched the World Cup final in Lyari, and everyone is just going crazy because football is their life. And they don't get that exposure. They don't get the opportunity to show their talent. But now finally they are with KU doing an amazing job, giving all of these people, all of these players the exposure that they deserve to get, and finally, establish themselves, because they never had the training and the exposure that players abroad get. But finally, KU is taking initiative. Karachi City is taking initiative.
I also want to see the focus from just our players going to the foreign leagues or getting the foreign exposure to our managers, our coaches, our head of technical football, recruiters, scouts go to foreign leagues and get that exposure.
So Karachi United actually have a coach who's certified now. His name's Kareem Karai, and he actually Kareem Karai.
Oh, okay.
And he actually spoke to Henderson and Liverpool, because there was some affiliation, which is amazing, unheard of before like a couple of years ago,
Hmm.
which is like, this is what they're doing. This is what the exposure that they're bringing to the sport in Pakistan finally. Because I've been playing football since I was 5 years old.
Oh,
And
crazy.
I've never gotten I never got the chance to get that exposure. So I'm so glad that the 16, 17-year-olds nowadays are getting the chance to show their talents finally.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, import that experience and then export our football, our footballers,
Exactly.
our football people, our
Exactly.
scouts, our coaches
Exactly.
to the foreign leagues, get the
Exactly.
exposure. But that's amazing, right? All right, guys. I hope you like the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked what we discussed. Let us know about your feedback. Comment below. Comment below. That's very important. You'll see us doing this every week, and let us know who you want to interview and talk about.
Please like, share, and subscribe to DN Sport. I'm Mikhail.
I'm Sharyar, and we're signing out.